watching my channel Learn to Know CBSE Biology. I am Amitesh and welcome to another video of the chapter Sexual Reproduction in Flowering Plant Part 3, where I will be discussing about the megasporogenesis. So without any further ado, let me directly jump to a diagram of an Anthropus ovule and let me explain the structure present in a megaspore. So this is a megaspore. In this video, I will be discussing about the structures present in a megaspore. Firstly, this is the chalazal end. This is the chalazal. Chalazal end is opposite to micropylar end. Chalazal end is the end which is opposite to micropylar. Since from the previous getting MCQs in your biology paper, you might get an MCQ. The end in a ovule which is directly opposite to the micropylar end is known as dash. It is a chalazal end. So, if this is a chalazal end, we can understand that this point is the micropyle, or this is the micropylar end. In the micropylar end, from the name it suggests that it contains micropyle. What is the role of micropyle? Micropyle is a small opening in the ovule which facilitates the diffusion of gases, diffusion of oxygen and carbon dioxide. This is the micropyle. Next is hilum. Hilum is the portion that attaches ovule to the funicle. Before I discuss hilum, let me discuss funicle. This portion is the funicle. The portion where ovule is attached to the placenta by the means of a stalk is known as funicle. So, this is ovule to placenta. Micropyle is diffusion of gases. Next, so hilum. Hilum is this portion. This is known as hilum. Hilum joins the ovule to the placenta. Ovule to the funicle. Okay, I will be discussing the importance one by one. Next, as you all know, this is an embryo sac. We have already discussed in class 11. This is the embryo sac. Next portion is, this is the outer integument, this is the inner integument. As you know, integument transforms to the seed coat, and integument, the role of the integument is protection. The next portion is nucellus. This is nucellus, a number of cells in the chalazal end which acts as a food reservoir for the growing embryo sac. And finally, this is the raphe. Raphe is present in only a few flowers. Extension of funicle beyond the hilum is known as raphe. So let me discuss each of the portion. Chalazal end is opposite to micropyle. Nucellus acts as food reserve. Embryo sac contains the antipodal synergids and the apparatus I will be discussing now. Micropyle is in the end of the synergids which facilitate diffusion of gases. Next is hilum. Hilum is present so that it attaches the ovule to the funicle. Funicle attaches ovule to the placenta. Raphe is a funicle present beyond the hilum. Integuments are the seed coats. Integuments plays role in protection. So you might be given a question like this: draw a diagram of Anthropus ovule and label the portion whose functions are given below. For example, 5 functions. Number 1, opposite to micropyle. Number 2, the cells which acts as food reserve, nucellus. Number 3, which facilitate diffusion of gases, micropyle. Number 4, if the funicle is present beyond the hilum, raphe. Number 5, which gives protection, integument. These are the probable questions have come many a times in your CBSE board. Next, I'll be drawing a embryo sac just in order to explain the contents in it. Cell wall, of course, present. Now, see, one thing I have missed, the nucleus. This is the microphylla end, while the upper is the chalazal end. Okay, from that diagram you can relate. The three cells with the cell wall and cytoplasm present in the chalazal end is known as antipodal cells. After fertilization, antipodal cells do not have any function. This is a binucleated cell known as the nucleus are known as the polar nuclei. Polar nuclei. Binucleated. In the microphylla end, the two extreme cells at the surrounding are known as synergies. They are naked, while the middle is known as the egg cell. Egg cell forms the zygote, which will form the embryo. And last, in the microphylla end, there is a filiform apparatus. See a grass-like structure of drawn, that is the filiform apparatus. Filiform apparatus facilitate the entry of pollen tube in the embryo sac. Okay. So let me go into the process of my megasporogenesis. Okay, this diagram is clear, and embryo sac. Megasporogenesis. Since microsporogenesis involves the formation of pollen grain, which is the male reproductive unit, so megasporogenesis similarly is the formation of female reproductive unit. Forms haploid cells, gamete formation, that to female. Megasporogenesis forms the embryo sac. Since pollen had a microspore mother cell, similarly megaspore is formed from megaspore mother cell. The process involved from megaspore mother cell to the formation of megaspore is meiosis. Which portion undergoes meiosis to form megaspore mother cell? The nucellus present at the microphylla end. Since we all know that in the microphylla end, the embryo sac is present, it is very clear that the nucellus in the microphylla end undergoes division, undergoes differentiation in order to form the megaspore or the embryo sac. So nucellus in the microphylla end. So similarly, derive a definition. Megasporogenesis is formation of the megaspore or the embryo sac from the megaspore mother cell by meiotic division. Meiotic division is known as megasporogenesis. Meiosis I have already said. Now, just like microsporogenesis, there is a sequence of events that take place. First is megaspore mother cell. Megaspore mother cell undergoes meiosis 1. Meiosis 1 is reductional division. Net output is 4. Net output is 2 cells. So megaspore mother cell is 2n. It forms dyad. The megaspore mother cell undergoes transverse division. First, listen very carefully. The megaspore mother cell undergoes transverse division to form 2 haploid cells. Those are known as dyad. Next, this dyad undergoes meiosis 2 in order to form the megaspore tetrad. This is a longitudinal division. First, reductional division from the 2n megaspore mother cell transversely will form the megaspore. Will form the dyad, which are haploid. Then they undergo longitudinal division to form megaspore tetrad, a group of 4 cells which are again haploid. This is haploid. This is haploid. Now, megaspore tetrad in pollen grain in microscope, we can see microscope mother cell gives rise to 4 the pollen grains. Here, megaspore mother cell forms megaspore tetrad, but 3 disintegrates. Total 4. 3 disintegrates. 1 is the functional megaspore. This megaspore, this one is the functional megaspore. This megaspore undergoes differentiation in order to form the embryo sac. 3 disintegrates, only 1 remains. You might get a question that a megaspore, in order to form 4 megaspore, how many megaspore mother cells are required? Since 4 megaspore mother cells, 3 disintegrates. Okay, not 1. In case of pollen, it would be 1. Microspore mother cell forms 4 pollen. Next, then there is a term which I have never seen in your CBSE paper, megametogenesis. But the question of course comes. Megametogenesis is formation of the embryo sac by differentiation of megaspore. But the question comes not like this, that trace the events of megametogenesis. No, the question comes in the way, trace the development of formation of embryo sac, 8 nucleated 7 cell embryo sac from a megaspore mother cell. 5 mark along with a diagram. I'll be explaining. Since we have already learned how megaspore is formed, megametogenesis. What is megametogenesis? Differentiation of megaspore in order to form the embryo sac is known as megametogenesis. This is just differentiation, mitosis. Megaspore from the megasporogenesis, we have come to megaspore. Now this megaspore undergoes mitosis. One cell, if undergoes mitosis, forms 2 cells. These 2 cells move to the opposite pole. Megaspore undergoes mitosis to form 2 cells, which moves to the opposite pole. 2 cells, 2 nucleus. Normal. The cell is formed. Cell division occurs. From there, again mitosis takes place. This is known as 2 cell stage. Mitosis forms 4 cell stage. Normal mitosis is taking place. Mitosis to form 2 cells, which moves upward. So this, a single cell will form 2 cells, which will move upward. From there, it will form 1, 2, 1, 2, the second mitotic division. Okay, again a mitosis takes place. So this differentiates, 1 here takes place, 1 here takes place, and the other 2, this is a special feature here, the other 2 karyokinesis takes place, but not the cytokinesis. Here, from 4 cell, it would supposed to be 8 cell, 8 nucleated. But what happens is 7 cell, 8 nucleated. This is the real feature. The 2 are the polar nuclei. Okay. Why? 7-celled structure takes place because, but 8-nucleated structure karyokinesis has continued as it is. But when after karyokinesis and cell division to complete it, cytokinesis takes place. In cytokinesis, it becomes incomplete. So if I draw a enlarged diagram of the polar nuclei, it would look like this. 2 nuclei which a furrow is present, but no complete cell is formed. Okay. So this is the total explanation of megasporogenesis. Hope you guys have liked this video. If you have liked this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe my channel and share my channel so that everyone can be benefited. Hope you guys are doing good in this crisis of COVID-19. Thank you.